Hi, I'm Ashley Cotter-Cairns, the owner of sellmycomicbooks.com, and today I'm going to do something that I have been meaning to do for some time. No, not fix my hair and shave. In fact, I'm talking about 4-color comics. This is the huge series. It's a massive challenge to collectors. It ran from 1939 to 1962, and it ran to over 1,000 issues. I think it's something like 1,200 issues. There are actually some issue numbers which don't exist that people are still looking for. There are variants with different back covers that are worth more than the regular ones. But today I'm just going to focus on the basics. I'm going to focus on showing you which of those 4-color issues are worth money today, and which ones to look for, and which ones you can pretty much expect to find in dollar bins because nobody really cares about them. So let's get straight on. Now, the first thing to talk about with 4-color is that there were 2 series of 4-color. The first series, which ran from 1939 to 1942, and the second series, which ran from 1942 to 1962. And the reason I bring this up is because the first series ran from issues 1 to 25, and then when they rebooted 4-color in 1942, they started back at number 1. So there are 2 of the first 25 numbers. They have very different covers from one another, and the values of series 1 and series 2 are wildly different. I don't think in the video it's really worth showing you every single cover. I'm just going to show you the valuable ones here. And if you want to check out the difference between Series 1 and Series 2, you can just go to the page. It's linked in the description below, and you'll see exactly why this is such a confusing series, and it gives people a lot of trouble when they're trying to figure out what exactly they've got. So that was a quick look at the difference in covers between Series 1 and Series 2, and now I'm going to go back quickly and focus on the really valuable issues from those first 2 runs of numbers 1 through 25, so you know which ones are going to be worth finding in the wild. Here is the first valuable issue from the 4-color series 1. It's number 4. It's an early Donald Duck comic book. The artist's name is Al Taliaferro, and the record sale for this book is over $28,000. Even if you find a piece of crap copy that's falling apart, it's going to be worth a few $100. So this one is a particularly rare and sought after early Donald Duck comic book. Next we have another Disney comic. This is effectively Mickey Mouse comic number 1. This is a theme you'll come back to in 4-color time and time again, where Dell used 4-color comics to launch a new series, and they didn't call it number 1, but they effectively published a number 1 comic from each series and then spun off a title. This is Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse. The artist is Gottfredson. This is another extremely rare and valuable Mickey Mouse comic. Disney, they had licensing with 4-color to produce comic books of their famous characters, and this issue has sold for over $50,000. The record sale. Minimum value on this book is about $500 no matter what the condition, so this one's a really nice one if you find it. Now we're in Series 2, and the most valuable comic in Series 2 is a Donald Duck comic by the legendary Karl Barks, who became famous for drawing Donald Duck especially, Uncle Scrooge, all the famous Disney ducks. Karl Barks is the most collected Disney artist of all time probably, and this is an early Donald Duck by Karl Barks, Donald Duck Finds Pirate Gold. This comic book, no matter what the condition, is worth something. The minimum value is about $100. The record sale is over $38,000. So this one's a really nice one if you find it, and that is Series 2, number 9. While we're on the subject of Karl Barks, I'm going to run through a few of his other famous 4-color comics covers. Most of them seem to involve Donald Duck finding treasure in some respect. So we have Donald Duck and the Mummy's Ring, Donald Duck in Frozen Gold, Donald Duck and Terror of the River, Donald Duck in Volcano Valley, Donald Duck in The Ghost of the Grotto, 4 color 178 was the first appearance of Uncle Scrooge. Donald Duck in Christmas on Bear Mountain by Karl Barks. First appearance of Uncle Scrooge in this issue. Now the interesting thing is that the first appearance of Uncle Scrooge in 4 color 178, the record sale is $10,000. But what's considered to be the first Uncle Scrooge comic, number 386, 4 color 386, has sold for far more and is much better known. It wasn't until I wrote the article on 4 color that I realized that I had it all wrong. I thought that 386 was the first appearance of Uncle Scrooge, but it's not. It's the first Uncle Scrooge comic. It's really Uncle Scrooge issue 1. The record sale for this book is over $26,000. So even though it's not his first appearance, his true first appearance, this is the book that's more important. It's a classic cover by Barks with Donald Duck trying to row his uncle through a huge heap of gold coins. And this pretty much sums up exactly what Uncle Scrooge is all about. People love this issue. The minimum value in any condition is over $150. So if you find this one, you're in the money for sure. Now, as well as all those famous Disney covers, mostly by Karl Barks, that are worth serious money if you find them, 4 color was famous for licensing TVs and movies and having the famous characters from those shows and movies on their covers. I'm just going to show you a few of those now. The one thing to bear in mind is that while those Karl Barks issues can be worth money even in really poor condition, most of the later 4 color comics, which spun off things like Bonanza, even ones with pictures of Clint Eastwood or John Wayne on the cover, most of those aren't worth very much money at all unless they're in really nice condition. Every week you can find in our dollar bins in the store, .com Comics, you can find copies of these later 4 color comics for $1 each. They're not worth anything at all, really, unless they are in high grade. So don't get excited if you see one of these in your collection. Unfortunately, unless it's really nice, it's not going to be worth very much money. But I thought it would be worth bringing these up. And there are a couple more interesting first appearances coming up at the end of the video, so don't miss those. Finally, before I wrap up this video, it's taking forever, I wanted to talk to you about 2 really big first appearance comic books in the latter half of the 4 color comics run. The first of which is the very first appearance of Peanuts, aka Snoopy, Charlie Brown and the gang. 878 is the first appearance of Peanuts in this series. And the second important book to mention at the end of this series is the first appearance of Turok, Son of Stone. Turok, Son of Stone, very long-running and popular series. Most people don't seem to care about Turok anymore. That kind of sort of prehistoric / Tarzan kind of vibe is very unpopular in this current environment, and people just don't care very much. But the first appearance of Turok is still very valuable comparative to other issues around it. In any condition, it's worth about $20 to $25, but in high grade, it can sell for hundreds. In fact, the record sale of $5.96 is $2,000. The record sale, incidentally, of 4 color 878, the first Peanuts, is over $6,000. So that's a really good one to find. Even in average condition, it's worth $100 or $200, and in low grade, it's worth about $50. So that's it. That's the overview of 4 color comics. Below this video in the description is a link to the page where I break down every single issue from 1 to 25 from Series 1 and Series 2, and then all the key issues from that point onwards. So please check it out. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. We do lots of vintage comic book unboxing videos. You can find all our comic books for sale at .com Comics and sellmycomicbooks.com. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again. Bye for now.